Hey, hey, next up on the conversation, I am joined by Raquel Jones, Director of Leadership Programs at People for the American Way. Thanks for joining us, Raquel.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, so can you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Yes, so I currently serve as the Director of Leadership Programs. Right now, I oversee our Young Elected Officials Network that serves and supports young electeds between the ages of 18 and 35. We currently have over 1,300 elected officials, and we work to provide policy, networking, and leadership development support. I oversee our Frontline Leaders Academy program, where we utilize the expertise of our young elected officials, to essentially train the next generation of leaders. It's a 6-month-long fellowship where they go through a field and finance training, campaign and communications management, as well as communications training. And then more recently have been working to build out our women's support. The women were feeling really alone and isolated within the Young Elected Officials Network. And so we are building out programming specific to them. In 2019, we were able to launch our first standalone women's conference, which was amazing. We brought 80 elected women from across the country together to really just dive in and figure out how we can work to support them and elevate their leadership. And now we paused a little bit because of COVID and everything going virtual, but we're really working to build it back out and excited about being able to support them in the future.
That is fantastic. And I also know that your organization is essentially greeting this nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson to the US Supreme Court with great joy. And so I'd love to play this clip really quick.
When I pass by the Supreme Court, I will smile. Someone who looks like me will be there. Someone behind those doors understands the complexity of the triple jeopardy that I experience: race, class, and gender. It means she will be there for this and the next generation of young Black women. I see her even now in the spirit of our ancestors. The haters are trying to steal our joy, but we have a joy that they didn't give, they can't understand, and therefore they can't take away. When she enters and is seated in the highest court of this land, she will bring the whole past, present, and future Negro, Black, African American, Americans of African ancestry with her. The weight on the shoulders of this Black woman is heavy, but I have faith and I have her back. Tell your senators, confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court.
Now, yes, definitely having that representation as well as that insight on the bench is something extremely important. But I'd love to hear why People for the American Way really believes that Judge Jackson is the right choice.
Yeah, so we know that right now this is a historical moment, and she's such an inspiring nominee. To me personally, as a young Black woman and a mother of a 5-year-old who will see herself represented on the highest courts of our land. And then we see that this is an opportunity for the entire nation to secure a better future for generations to come. This is, a lifetime appointment of someone who is truly committed to protecting civil and human rights, and someone who offers a unique perspective for quality decision making just based off of her lived experiences.
Yes, and you had mentioned that she has a history of protecting civil rights. And can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, she has deeply demonstrated her commitment to civil rights and is one of the brightest legal minds in our country. She could have chosen a lucrative career in private practice, but she chose public service. And I believe that her experience as a public defender means that she'll bring the perspective of someone who's seen the justice system through the eyes of the most vulnerable in our country.
Yes, definitely having that wealth and range of experience. It really does show that she has a dedication and a devotion to essentially upholding the rule of law, particularly as it concerns everyone, not just necessarily the wealthy or the privileged. And speaking of wealthy and privileged, we know that she's going to be going before Congress and essentially having them pepper her with questions and put her in a position where, as we know with the GOP, will try to make her look foolish or to undermine her in some way. So I guess, what are your thoughts on how this whole nomination process will go?
Yeah, we know that the far right will spew baseless attacks and try to distort her record, but we will not repeat those messages, right? We know that She has an exceptional record and has a proven track record of bipartisan support in the Senate. She was just confirmed, or she's been confirmed 3 times by the Senate on a bipartisan basis already, and even more recently last year when she was confirmed to her current seat. And so we believe that there's really no merit behind the attacks, and think that we're hoping and pushing that to still have a seamless process.
Yes, definitely seemed to be something we would all look forward to, but unfortunately, I think the hypocrisy of the GOP is something that they often like to showcase. But in terms of moving forward and assuming that she definitely will be confirmed and essentially put on the bench itself, given the fact that it's that 6-3 split already in terms of favoring the conservatives, what presence do you think Jackson would bring?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a really interesting point, and really what People for and our allies believe is that it really shouldn't be a conversation. The current judge doesn't have an impact, so it shouldn't be a concern. But we do know that she will influence the questions we hear at oral arguments and deliberations behind closed doors. And so we know that today's dissents can be tomorrow's majority opinions.
Yes, definitely. And also too, hopefully, having some sway really helps when you are essentially working with fellow justices and trying to get them to see your side. So I would like to think from Jackson's temperament that she also may be well positioned to influence her colleagues while on the bench. What say you on that?
Yeah, I mean, we know that history shows we don't know what will come to her on the court, but we know that her record has shown a commitment to protecting the most vulnerable in our community. So I say that she is, emphasizing that she's an outstanding nominee with matchless credentials, and we really look forward to a swift confirmation.
Yes, and so for the work that you are going to continue doing moving forward after she becomes Justice Jackson, what will you all do? What is on the forefront for you?
Yeah, so People For has been committed to supporting and uplifting exceptional women, and we will continue to do that to support women like her and others through our Her Fight, Our Fight, supporting them and uplifting.
Great, and I know as the director of leadership programs, you're probably working on several programs right now. Is there anything that you would like to mention?
Yeah, just that we are really looking forward to building up our women's programming and pushing it out this year. Like I said, we've been paused for a while because of COVID, but we are really looking forward to getting back in that space where we can provide tangible support to elected women and really see them flourish and thrive so that they can continue to bid for higher office.
Yes, and are there any potential women out there that you all are taking special interest in getting elected?
So on the women's programming side, we support current elected officials, and so don't actually get involved in any particular races and try to keep it C3. But I will say personally, there are several that I'm crossing fingers that will get pushed through.
All right, and anybody in office in particular who you think people should be mindful of in terms of uplifting their message and their voice?
Yeah, one that comes to mind particularly right now are some of our legislators in Texas, thinking about Jasmine Crockett, who was on the ballot yesterday, and just continuing to support those. Even thinking about B. Wynn in Georgia, who's bidding for Secretary of State and would bring a phenomenal perspective and voice to that particular seat.
Yes, that sounds like you are definitely keeping your finger on the pulse because it's incredibly important that we do have more women in elected leadership positions, without a doubt. And in terms of what you look forward to when it comes to the midterms, is there anything essentially on your docket that you're eyeing?
In my C4 roles, would have to say looking, all eyes on Georgia and really, really looking to continue to support and uplift Stacey Abrams down there.
Yes, without a doubt, that definitely seems to be something a lot of people are eyeing. And hopefully it will be something that comes to pass as we do need more leadership, better leadership, and voices that are uplifted. And so when it comes to uplifting voices and also supporting people for the American way, I guess, how can people get involved?
Yeah, you can, if you want to get involved in our Her Fight, Our Fight, you can go to herfightourfight.org and learn more and how to specifically plug into there. If you want to learn more about all of our programming, you can go to People For theamericanway.org.
Excellent. And are there any programs that you have anything interesting with coming up soon?
So yes, we are really excited to be getting back in person. And it's not out there publicly, the dates yet, but it will be out there very soon. We'll be hosting our first in-person event in June. We are looking forward to bringing multiple coalitions together in Atlanta to really figure out how we can build a winning coalition and have an impact on midterms, as well as looking to have an impact on reimagining public safety.
Wow, that sounds like it'll be something very, very exciting. Are you looking for any particular demographic of people to attend the program?
Yeah, so we are looking to invite our elected officials within the network who have specific interest in affecting and uplifting our democracy, as well as their stance around reimagining public safety. But then also this time really looking to include activists, those on the ground who are, who we know need to be there and in on the conversation to push and support the legislation that elected officials are putting up. And then also, again, a first time for us, but we'll be including the voices of Black faith leaders across the country. And so really looking to again, bring all those folks together to build a winning coalition to affect change.
Fantastic. And so for this nomination coming up for Ketanji Brown Jackson, what would you say to people out there in terms of getting her confirmed? Do you have a message?
Yeah, I would just say that Judge Jackson and our country deserve a respectful process that focuses on her exceptional qualifications and record on the bench. We know that this is a clear win for our country. She is exceptionally qualified and has the experience, character, integrity, and the dedication to the Constitution. And then I would say that, again, this is a defining moment and a long overdue moment for our country. And we urge you all to contact your senators to encourage them to move swiftly to confirm this outstanding nominee.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. Raquel Jones, Director of Leadership Programs at People for the American Way.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.